Hi everyone, welcome back to Satisfactory. Now, I haven't completed all the components yet needed to do the research and all these various different things. I need to research that before I can do other wee things, but in order to clear up that list on the right hand side, we are just going to go through some of these here very briefly. So let's get this here done. So this is the power switch, allows us to turn electricity on and off to different areas.
Power switch unlocked. Fixit is proud to announce that the power switch facilitates power grid management through the application of the very latest advances in on-off switch technology.
Just basic.
Fixit. It's fun to have power.
Let's do the Mark III post. So that allows you to connect more cables to one post at a time as opposed to 4. I think it gives you like 7 options.
Power pole Mark III unlocked. It has significantly more power connections compared to the previous models.
Right. That's basic enough. We haven't got enough to research that, but we do have enough to do the programmable splitter. I can't remember what it does, but we'll soon see now.
Programmable splitter unlocked. This upgrade to the smart splitter provides additional options to improve conveyor belt logistics.
So I think what that is pretty much, see up above here, let me see, let's actually go up and show it. So on the one of these here conveyor splitters, such as this one here, we can set which options where everything stuff goes, and we can actually filter on based on like the item we have in here as well. But you see, the thing is, you can only do one item at a time. So say if you had a load of stuff, have I done something wrong in this here? Right output, what's that doing? Overflow, yeah. So if you wanted multiple items of like to go this way, like say just plates and rods, you can actually add it onto a list. I think that's what it does. We'll soon see now. So we've got this here. Can we make that really quickly? Probably not. We'll do it later in the episode. So the only thing that's left now is we need 3,908 spools. So let's check to see if we have any of that ready to go. And we'll take the hypertube that was done on the last episode the whole way down to it, so it makes it light work. The motor is going to be long enough. I might have to make some rotor parts by hand just to get them all done, because it's slow production at the minute. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. Ah, nice. We've got everything we need. Excellent. Let's go back. So might be able to do a bit more research with that. But as I say, the rotors, I'm going to have to make them by hand. I'm going to just go get some components and do that by hand, because it's not producing as much as I thought it would in the meantime. And I know we are doing the modular control units. Is that what you call it? No, modular engines is what we've done. That one up there. Adaptive control unit. Is that what you call it? We have 100 of those to do. And I don't think that'll be too long. I don't think it'll take that long to do that, because a lot of that component I can do by hand and feed into the machine manually. As I said, I would have preferred to do that along here, but until we get the train system set up to go down to the oil and pick up that, it's going to be a waiting game. But we also need to create a massive station down there at the oil facility, because what's going to happen is we're going to put everything on a massive platform and split all the stuff out. So all 3 of those oil ducts, as you've seen, all the oil pads on the ground, we're going to take out of them, calculate how much we can split it by, so say 8, maybe 6 and 6, and then what we do is we'll calculate what items we need out of each, and then we'll put them into the train station to various different areas, and then all that will come up to here and get delivered. But once we figure out what components come up from down there, we can take it all up to here, and then we can build the facility. But I would say we will build the next facility over on the 2nd floor up, and reserve the bottom floor for like solid materials such as plastic, rubber, smokeless powder, and what do you call that, polymer resin, just things like that there. I think that's what we need to save up for, and then the components that come down off that, the raw components that come off it. So yeah, that's all to come up as well. Let's see, let's check the research, see what else we can unlock while we're here. Let's see, let's go to Curium. We can't do that because we don't have the bullets, and we can't do the bullets until we get the rifle.
Priority power switch unlocked. This assists with power grid management by automatically powering down specified connections when a grid failure is imminent.
Right.
Use it to prioritize power for the most important infrastructure.
That's handy. Sometimes using those things is actually pretty good. So say for example, what we would do is, I'll actually tidy up these cables eventually, but what we would do is each one of these here blocks, as you see, will have its own breaker coming to the front, where, like say for example, you'll have a breaker here that connects to this post and that post there, and the same thing for that one and same thing for that. Then they'll be set based on priority. So these here will be, I think it's a bit like, no, priority 1 is like high priority, and then priority 5 is low, very low priority. But these here will all be 1, and then the likes of this here, a few wee bits and pieces over around there, and the likes of drills and stuff like that there, they might be priority 2, but it's just in the event that anything happens, it knocks off the power to, like say, the drills, lets this here catch up, and then eventually it'll power everyone up when everyone's okay. This here would be obviously priority 1, everything in here, including the pumps and all that, because you can't run the pumps without electricity, and you can't have electricity without pumps. So that'd be priority 1. This will probably be priority 2, and drills will be priority 3. Miscellaneous things will be obviously the lowest priority, so they'll be 5 straight away, and that'll be things like the KDMR production and all stuff like that there. It's not essential. Everything is essential in some ways, but there's things that are more essential than the others. Right, let's see what else there is. Yes. Oh, maybe not. We need 50 motors for that. What is the other things we need to... So we've got smart splitter. Smart splitter. Why have I got 2 up there? What's going on here? Oh, we don't need to. Bullet guidance system, geothermal, and a high speed connector. What's that for? High speed connector? Is that for something? Have I missed something? High speed connector, what's that for? Hold on a second here, I'm a wee bit confused. What did that... Oh yes, no, we need more, I forgot, we need more high speed connectors for this. So that is 33 needed, and how come we've got 43? Did we already have 10? Let me knock that down by 10, because otherwise I'll just end up overdoing. There we go. 33 high-speed connectors. So I can start making those. But anyway, let me get that made, and what else will I do in the meantime while that's happening? I'll do a few other bits and pieces, but I'll resume the episode when all that is done. Okay, and we're back. So, lucky for us, I have got everything we need to complete phase 3. So let's get those added in first. So that's this. There's a few bits and pieces here I'll go over later on that I've added in. That's that. And let's get the versatile framework, which is all over here. Is this one? Nope. Is this one? Yes. Get all that. Jam this all into this. There we go. There's sealed. This is actually so cool that we've completed phase 3 already. It didn't even take us this long to complete it. I suppose we've got all the factory elements done, and I was AFK quite a lot as well.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation.
Let's see what
Congratulations, the Phase 3 project part shipment is finally ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 3 will be completed and the main body will be constructed.
Ooh.
You should know how this works by now. You'll get access to tiers 7 and 8 in the hub. In fact, perhaps you should just go look at the technologies there yourself. It's all laid out so that even a monkey could understand it, so you should have no issues. Speaking of which, I don't think you need a reminder about project parts. Instead, I will be providing some interesting facts. Did you
Oh,
know
they're
the
very
average
complex.
pioneer succeeds at saving the day? Did you know the average pioneer knows how to optimize pipe throughput? Did you know the average pioneer stays late at work because they care about humanity? Anyway, I thought you might want to know more about your peers. Good luck in Phase 4.
Right. Excellent. Let's send that on up. Very, very good. Away it goes. It's so cool. I love the physics in this game and the graphics. Oh, it's got a bit of color to
Phase
it.
3 of Project Assembly completed. Fixit's predictions indicate pioneers should generally reach this point faster with above average results, but we
Right.
should all adjust our expectations according to the situation. It is understandable. The pressure and complexity.
Yeah, I'm just going to skip that. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to grab all this stuff here. So I need this for the next part, which will be the unlocking of the MAM. Ooh, the noise of this thing. It's actually pretty cool. Oh, there it comes again. So now we're on to phase 4. Now, before we go on any further, I need to unlock a few things. So I need to unlock this. So that's the rifle. And then need to...
Rifle and rifle ammo unlocked. A long-range weapon and rapid-fire ammunition, only to be used for the defense or acquisition of Fixit property.
Yeah, I'm just going to skip that. And we've got the geothermal generators. We will go and build a few of those around wherever we can find geothermal. They're good to have.
Geothermal generator unlocked. Geysers added to the object scanner. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you deadly geothermal vents, run directly towards them and build generators.
That's good
Use
advice.
potentially lethal natural phenomena for your own benefit. It's the Fixit way.
And there was something else. What else have I got there? 10 of these. What was that for? What was it? Needed 10. Oh, the homing rifle ammo. So I need 500 of those bullet things, whatever they are. Why am I dropping? Let me see. Can we make it here? Rifle ammo. What does that take? 3 copper sheets and 2 smokeless powder. Gives us 15 on that. Right, we just can't make it at the minute because we don't have any of the smokeless powder, or at least I don't have anything being made to do that yet. So let's store that back in its container. That's going down in here. That's going up there. Actually, that can go in there. Right. Let's see the recipes we get now. So I still need to do the jetpack. And still need to unlock the Mark IV stuff. And same with monorail, need to unlock that. Railway signaling, pipeline. I did actually kind of forget about these here, to be honest. Number 7, bauxite refinement. So that is getting things like bauxite and quartz, being able to make aluminium with it. Hover pack. I think I've used that before. It uses electricity or nearby electricity to get you up. Mark 5 belts. That's pretty cool. A hazmat suit. Control system development. Blender. Assembly director system. Sulfur. Sulfuric acid packet. Sulfuric acid battery. Radio control unit. Supercomputer. Tier 8. Aeronautical engineering. So these are like tractors but in the air. Drones can take your items about. Nuclear power. Ooh, very good. Advanced aluminium production. Resource well pressurizer. So that's where for anything that like water, another way we found like water geysers and stuff like that there, where you can put pressure down into it and then it extracts it through this here. So scalable resources, water, crude oil and nitrogen gas. Cooling system and a fused modular frame. They are a monstrosity to develop, if I remember right. Leading edge production, turbo motor, minor marketing and thermal propulsion rocket. And particle enrichment, nitric acid, plutonium pallet, encased plutonium cells, plutonium rods. Products I don't think I've ever unlocked this here before. Copper powder. Don't think I've ever unlocked any of this before. But we need to finish off these here. Right. I think for the next stage of what we're going to do is talk about how we're going to be taking this series further. So at the current minute we have this system here, which is only making 3 basic elements of part of the this here space elevator. And I do know that we are supposed to make 2 more to make the other elements. I might hold off on that because I think we might end up actually dismantling this and taking it right down to the absolute basics. So what I have been thinking is, we have this platform here and it's massive at the minute. But I'm thinking if we take this platform and extend it all the way out there as far as it can go, and I'm hoping it'll just sit above that there rock, but expand it as far as it can go, then we have multiple train stations, not train, no, like one train station and multiple platforms, multiple train stations, and each train will go to various parts of the map. So allow me to explain from here. So imagine we have a massive train yard here, many stations inside it. One train goes over this way and collects the oil. Another train goes this way here and maybe gets things like, I don't know, iron ore, copper ore, whatever. Another one goes up here, maybe collects water. Another one goes up, maybe, I don't know, something up here and does blah blah blah. You kind of get what I mean. So these trains branch out and get various different things and they all come back here. Now, what would be on the trains, you might ask? Now, I was thinking maybe just putting ores. So, like for example, if we had a train that might collect iron ore, it brings it back here and dumps it into one station. And then another one goes out and brings coal back here and puts it into another station. Then what we do is, if we imagine that those train stations are out in the middle of here, they all pipe along here, or conveyor along to here, which go to a massive facility, the whole length of this, that makes every basic component there is. And that's everything from, let me see, iron rods, iron plates, to screws, to copper sheets, etc, etc, steel beams and steel pipes. All that there gets made along this line here, and they all pipe out and then branch out to these various other secondary stations. So allow me to sort of demonstrate using a high-tech platform, and that is paint. Okay, so here we are. So let me just sort of demonstrate what's going on here. So here we imagine a canvas here in front of us, and let me just make this a wee bit bigger so you can see what's happening. So we've got this canvas here in front of us. So we've got the map. Here is us here in this wee circle here. And then what we do is we set up pretty much like a basic system where we have a massive train yard like this. See it? And this is all broken down into bays. Let's do the train lines in red. So we've got one line going here. I know this is very bad drawn, but you kind of get what I mean. Like that. You got these different stations along here. This is just a very basic sort of thing. And then these all branch around to different parts of the map. So you got this one here. This one goes over to here. This one goes around and curls around to maybe something over here. And then this one curls around and goes to here. So these different trains come along and come into here. And then what happens is they offload all the items here into a second factory, which is this unit over here. So they pipe all the items, that's all your iron ore, copper ore, your coal, your sulfur, bauxite, all that, quartz, comes over here and transfers over to here. So let me do that in blue so you can see that. So all that will flow into here. All that flows into here. Then all your different parts gets made. So that's everything from screws, rods, plates, all that get made in here. They then flow to the third facility, which is over here. And this third facility is broken up a bit like what we have at the minute, where it's making those space elevator systems. And what happens is each of these splits into different things. And let me do a bit of a darker color, a bit more of a different blue, which goes into like so this here. All these split into other things. So this one here, for example, that could be making, I don't know, smart plating like it is at the minute. This one's making adaptive control units. This one's making, I don't know, like say computers, and this one here is making like say something else. All these here factories are going along here, and of course they're going to be the tiered systems as well. So bottom will be one component or a mixture of components that will take it to the next floor, which makes a bit of more of an advanced product. But the end goal will be like say a computer, a smart plating, etc, etc. And then what happens is every item that gets made here will then drop down to the bottom of the floor. Let me just do that a wee bit better, so it's not all those will transfer down to the floor below it, which is broken up into a bit like the system we have here at the minute. Each of these here is like what would you say, each cargo container of each of these here items here plus the main item here. So like screws and plates and all that there, all that comes into here, and some of it will go into these cargo containers. So this one here could be like plates, this could be rods, this one could be screws, and then say this one down here can be computers, this one here can be modular frames, this one could be industrial beams, etc, etc, etc. And at the end of every one of these here, and I'm going to do this in purple just to show it, on the end of these here is pretty much the exact same thing, only these are going to be the cloud storage, as I call it, or the that system, what is the name of it? The one where it's like it puts it up on into like fourth dimensional space, but like each item will pump into this here, so they go into this, into each one of these here, and that allows us to craft everything from this here. Now this is going to be monstrosity because this is going to be every item in the game effectively except for ores, and all that's going to be, you know, only your ores and your basic elements are going to be here, but only buildable stuff such as your steel rods, steel plates and all that comes into here, and some of it goes into here, and then they all flow into the end here, which is it's kind of like the portal, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the cloud storage, as I call it, and that's why I've done it in purple. Then what's going to happen is we're going to have I'm going to do this in orange. We're going to have another system in place here, and pretty much the way this is going to be an overflow network. So all this here, everything, every inventory flows into this, every bit. I'm doing it here as well, and then we have an overflow network here. And just very briefly, all these here are connected in, right, like that. So what's happening is this is called the overflow network. So naturally enough, this container here will fill this here cloud storage. If it fills up too much to the brim, what happens is the rest of it goes along this overflow network, goes over to here, and then it goes down to the awesome shop, which is at the very end here. This is your awesome shop, or sorry, awesome sink, and that pretty much destroys the enemy for points. And what's happening is everything is flowing over to here, and if it fills up too much, the rest will overflow and come down here. Same with all this stuff here. Anything that's overflown will come down here and go into here. Because let's just face it, 48 slots of the one material, plus whatever slots there is for each of these here cloud storage, when they fill up, you're going to have too much of that one item. So you want that to continue and go down here and go down into the awesome sink for points, because then you can buy different things with it. So that's what all that there is going to happen, and then that's going to save space. That means that every time the ore comes down here, you know, it's going to get used, it's going to get turned into something. But in order not to waste power, it's that's why we want to fill up these here containers first. But it'll help, you know, be efficient. But we don't want it, we don't want stuff to hang. So say for example, if it's done making plates, done with making rods, then what's going to happen is this iron here is not going to be used. Say, so that iron's hanging there. So every time the train comes to deliver iron, it's not dumping it off. It's carrying it around the entire map. So what we want to do is whenever it fills up, it goes to the sink, and then whenever the train comes back again, you know, it's putting it in. It is a use of electricity and all that there, but I don't think we need to worry about electricity. I think if we get enough of the oil system set up, which is the right hand side of the map, I think we'll do well enough. So that's pretty much that. And then we're back in this world here. So yeah, I should have probably actually took a screenshot of this here map. That would have made a lot more sense. But yeah, you get the idea. We'll have trains coming over picking up oil, some pick up coal. I was going to join these two together and I'll have the train collect the oil and collect the coal, but I think I might just have a train per each now. You know, it just makes things a wee bit easier. And keep it to basic elements. So if I hold down V, this is all the elements here you can see, or all the ones that we can get at the minute. So we've got iron ore, copper, limestone, sulfur, etc., all the way around. So we need a train to carry all this here stuff. Now naturally we would break the train up, so the one train will carry ore, iron ore, copper ore, limestone, and say sulfur, and then another train will carry special components such as raw quartz, helium ore, coal, and SAM items. And then these two here, that'll be like some, I don't know, crude oil. That'll be a different train. We'll be carrying that there stuff. And it has got me asking the question as well. Should we just pick up this crude oil with a train and take it to here and then process it, as opposed to processing all the oil over here and then taking the various different parts over to here? And it's got me thinking, I think we should do that, because that means everything is localized here in the center. Everything comes here, so you don't have far to split it. And then we can use small trains to take the items between different stations. So if we have a massive rail yard, and we can have multiple facilities within this here. So just over here we can have the oil processing, and that train will take it from there to something over here. But I also would like to spread things out, and then because that makes us utilize the map a bit more. And it is kind of cool to have no facility just doing stuff with crude oil over here. It would be nice to take all the stuff over, but you think about all the stuff that crude oil makes. It's an awful lot of stuff. And just to put that in perspective, I go here and I type in crude. So first off, you have all these here. So you've got one, two, well, let me just say, you've got the polymer resin, you've got the rubber, and you've got the plastic. And then you've got these byproducts such as your heavy oil residue and all this other stuff. The heavy oil residue, you can make your plastic and all that there stuff again from it. But the heavy, why is that? Hang on, I need to, there we go. So the heavy oil residue is used to make further stuff, and for some reason that further stuff is not coming up. I know you can do other things with it. Heavy oil, I don't know why that's not coming up on the list of things where you can make it out of. I just know you have to refine it down even more to make all the wee bits and pieces. Like for example, why doesn't it show that? Why doesn't that show that? Oh, it does. I just didn't scroll down. Right. So pretty much, let's go back to the start again. So you've got your plastic, you've got your rubber, and then you've got your poly resin. And each of these has a byproduct, usually something like the heavy oil residue. So then that breaks it down further into things like petroleum coke, fuel, which we use for generators, and you can mix it with things like black powder to make smokeless fuel, etc., etc., etc. And then for things like fuel that can be used for packaged fuel and different things like that. I don't think we need to use this. I can't think of any recipes where this is used. No, I think that's just for transport really. I can't think of any recipes that use it. So for crude oil alone, you've got about maybe 8 or 9 different types of byproducts with that. So that means you have to have a train that supports 8 to 9 carriages. I don't think it's as much as that, but it's whatever I listed there. That's how many carriages you need to carry all that stuff back to here. So would it make sense just to send a train over to carry the crude oil from there over to here, and then this here processes it, and then, you know, puts it into the system as I was showing in the paint application, you know, where it splits it out, and then it'll divide it out to whatever our facility needs. For example, if we were to create circuit boards or something that consumes circuit boards, your plastic from your oil will flow along a belt and get fed into this here, and then let's say the steel rods and steel plates from this other facility come along here and feed into this here as well. Or do we take a train that takes that stuff from here and dumps it into this? And then that has the other question, are you going to have a train per, you know, item? So if you're going to be making computers, is one train going to go around and collect all the stuff to make that? It just gets a bit monstrous. So there's loads of ways you can do it. You can't really go wrong. It's about like what gives you the most fun really in doing it. But yeah, I think we should just try and think. I'm trying to go with a final decision here. I think we should expand this here out regardless. The likes of these here, like all this here, no, steel and copper, all these are all going to get covered. All these drills are going to get ripped up. Everything here is going to get ripped up because we're going to go outsource all these here, because I think the likes of this, that's impure. We're going to go hunting over the next couple of episodes for pure, and then we're going to set up a facility for mining it, and then each facility is going to turn it into ingots, and then we're going to map out a train system to go and pick up them ingots and take it to a big facility here. So I wish you could get a proper satellite view of everything, you know, a bit like Google satellite view, because I'd like to plan it out that way. Just extend this here out as far as we can go with it, and then create a rail yard system. What I might do is do like an Excel table of every item in the game and break it down to what basic element it needs. So things like iron ore, copper ore, coal, everything like that, everything that's in the game, and then create a train station for each of them said items. So one train station for iron ore, one train station for iron ingots, one train station for copper ingots, one train station for steel ingots, one train station for coal, one train station for aluminium ingots, say. I'm going to do all them, come up with a number of stations that we need, then come up with some sort of a plan on how to build that train system, and then we're going to take it from there. But I could easily see a train system going between train systems to, you know, do different components, and then where to put them out on the map. But I do think we should expand out and see if there's any like big pockets. I know the likes of down here we've got a massive coal pocket, there's like 4 of them, so naturally we're going to fill up a train with that. But I'm going to see if I can find quartz, you know, like multiple quartz, maybe like 3 patches of that, and have a train going that, because I want to use the whole map, have a huge train system going and picking that up. And then eventually when we do nuclear power, I think we should do nuclear power in kind of like a secluded facility. So if, say for example, if we done over here, is there somewhere there's water? No, we could do it over here, which is there's water just over here, so we can have a massive nuclear facility beside the water. So what will happen is everything nuclear related will go get sent over there and just make nuclear power, and this facility here is just for making every single item in the game. So that's the next things coming up. Now for this here, on the last part of the episode, I think what we should do, this is what I'm talking about. What is this called? Dimensional depot. Dimensional depot, not the cloud storage as I call it, but dimensional depot, that's what I was talking about over here at the back in purple. That goes in the back of these here. So in fact what I was saying was, items come down into this, and then they flow into a dimensional depot like this. Once these here fill up to the brim, there's going to be a conveyor splitter, which will be here. Naturally enough, it's going to want to fill this here up first, but anything that overfills will go to the right and head towards the awesome sink, and it'll just be a main area where it destroys items for points. So that is that, and that's what's coming up in the next episode or two. In the meanwhile, what I am going to do is I am going to unlock the rest of all this stuff here off camera, because there's a lot of work involved in making all this stuff. So I'm going to unlock all this here, and in the next episode we are going to go hunting, because I think we can use the car. Can we? Have we unlocked it yet? Which one has the car? This one. So I need to unlock the crystal oscillator. Oscillator, is that how you pronounce it? Need to unlock that first and build the explorer, because then we can drive the explorer around and go looking for various different ores and stuff, and then we'll mark them on the map where we find pure. It's primarily pure, and then what we'll do is we will or what I'll do is on my second screen I'll mark out a recommended train route to get to that based on elevations and all that there. I'll take a screenshot of the map, so it'll be like a screenshot of this, and then I'll mark it out. So say for example, if we were running a train between here and say something down here, what we say is we take the train around, follow this path, down the hill, around here, pull the train in here, comes back around and back up the hill again. So I'll take a very, very like detailed screenshot, or I might just download the map online and then draw on top of it and then show it off in the next episode of what's happening, or once we find all the locations of what we need. But I do think we need to explore this land a bit more and open it up. It would be nice to have, you know, like a facility way up here that's just quartz. So yeah, there's that, and there's plenty more wee few things to do. So that's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to finish off unlocking the rest of these here tiers, and in the next episode we'll go around and do some hunting. So we'll have, by the time you come back in the next episode, or the time I have the next episode up, we'll have the this here unlocked, the explorer, and we can go around and we'll hunt for that. But that's it for this here episode. Thanks again for watching. If you've any comments at all for what I've just gone over, or any suggestions on what we could do to make this thing better, do drop it down below, or visit Discord channel that is linked in the description. Follow that Discord channel for the schedule as well as the information board. There you'll be able to see what games are playing, as well as when those games are coming out on to YouTube. If you are enjoying the content, do consider subscribing and drop a like if you enjoy what you see. As you know, it helps show what people interest the most, and I'll try and focus on those areas a bit more in the future. But other than that, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. I would like to give a massive shout out to the channel donators. You help make these videos possible.